I am still wondering how we allowed an botany specialist in our election management. That is something that I'm yet to understand. But then, maybe if you look at the background, maybe he had background in election issues. I'm speaking about Irene Masit Tribunal that was going on today. Glaring contradictions that show what exactly is the script that is being played out here. I was looking at when he was being cross-examined by lawyer Donald Kip Korir, and I want to show you something that I do believe the media played us. Mainstream media did not really give us the good steak. Listen to this.
There has been a lot of insecurity at the Tally Center. As you recall, a number of our staff were abducted at the Tally Center. Many of them are frightened, and there has been a lot of scaring amongst our staff, including ourselves, who were hurt at the Tally Center.
Who was abducted from Bomas of Kenya? And I think this is a narrative that we've left it to go, and no one has ever questioned. Over time, the commission, spokespersons of the commission, these commissioners, will always tell you that people were abducted from Bomas of Kenya. A tallying center, National Tallying Center, which is the most guarded property there, and by that time there was a contingent of police throughout with CCTVs all over, and someone is being abducted within that building. Okay, fine. Let's leave alone the possibility of someone being abducted. This is normally a lie, because if you're abducted, so where are these people? Where are their families? Were they found? Were they killed? What happened? or did people abduct agents, party agents? You know, I'm saying this because Guliye is talking about people who were abducted at Bomas of Kenya, and we always had this story. And I've said that I think the mainstream media who normally get audience, these commissioners, they have not done as fair. They need to ask these questions. Where the families of these people normally say were abducted? Because the last time we had a stage-managed abduction by, I do believe that he abducted himself, Dennis Itumbi, it was all over the talk of town. Hii Kenya kwanza mnaona venye inaongeanga with the issue of the victim. You want to tell me IBC staff abducted, and to date, if the two Indians who are election officials that were working on behalf of William Ruto is what was the basis to bring everything down at DCI, you want to tell me we will not be talking about these families? Si hata tungekuwa tumeshaletewa, because now we have the freedom. I have a feeling that we have a lot of created stories, and that is why sometimes when president comes out to make allegations of Chebukati murder claim, Kenyans dismiss him because they don't hold water. That issue, remember, in Embakasi East, a returning officer, of course, was kidnapped. It's all over. None. They've never spoken about it. But then we speak about imaginary abductions without tangible evidence. Where are these people? Walipatikana? Walikuwa wamekufa? Did you attend their burials? What about it? The only burial of IBC staff I saw Chebukati attending is that of Musyoka, the Embakasi East RO. So that to me is normally a fabrication. But then, one of the things that is going on is leveling of Masit and the Cherara team was they were vilified because of even taking a private residence, the apartment stories. And they went into hiding because of those unconfirmed reports of abductions I've been talking about. In the first place, no abduction. No one was kidnapped. No one was done. Hakuna from Bomas of Kenya, hakuna chini kudanganya wa Kenya. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. But then it is again from those stories that we are told they went into hiding. Now, Today, during that cross-examination by Donald Kip Korir, that came up. And this is what Abdi Guliye said.
And because after announcing the results, we did not know what would happen to any of us, then we decided we were going to go into a safe place as we observed the happenings.
My understanding, Prof, was that you were hiding before the results were announced. Are you now saying that you were hiding after the results were announced?
No, we never hid before the results were announced.
Okay.
It was after the results were announced.
Okay, fine.
We went into hiding. We had to put off our phones, leave them in bombers, send away our security, and we rode in an hour to a unknown location. Our only contact to Kenya and the world was the television, just to check whether you were killing each other or you were celebrating.
Remember later on, they made a very ridiculous statement that they were hiding so to see whether Kenyans were going to slaughter themselves. I think I shared that with you, maybe for those who missed it. That is the video scene. So, I want to say something. When Abdi Guliye was being cross-examined by Irene Masit lawyer, there are some glaring contradictions that came out, and they played out in public, and that's what showed me what exactly is behind what is going on. Remember, the four commissioners, Irene Masit, Nyang'aya, Cherera, and the rest, they were blamed for two reasons. Number one is colluding with security team that visited the commission, and they pushed for altering results, saying that the four commissioners sided with the security team that wanted the results to be moderated. That was one account of it. Number two, their other problem is the fact that they differed with Wafula Chebukati. Or rather, they did not support what Chebukati was yet to announce. And they were blamed on those two grounds. And there are two questions that came, the two meetings that have came into conversation. One was the 3 a.m. meeting, and there was a meeting that was held by a security team in Wafula Chebukati. I think that was in Bomas of Kenya. That's the meeting that Tuju is normally called. Tuju's name normally appears. Then there was another one at 2 p.m. I think moments before, it was sometime before maybe the results were announced, and there was reports for them to be moderated. So this is what these two meetings is what are what have been used by government to show that the commissioners were actually working with the Azimio wing. Now, I want you to listen to the good man here, Abdi Guliye, struggling to answer questions and even evading.
So there was no other room where the tallying, there was no other inside room, secure room for doing the tallying?
No.
The technical team of IBCO, was it, doing the tallying?
All the tallying that was happening on the floor of that building.
Professor, you know you're under oath.
Yes.
Fine. Give us, on 15th of August, the meeting at 3 a.m. when you say 3 people came to see you 3 a.m. In your affidavit, you are mentioning, of course, the 4 commissioners. Is your memory correct? Are you sure Commissioner Nyang'aya was present that day at 3 a.m. in the morning?
As far as I recall, all commissioners were there.
No, I'm asking you. Was Commissioner Nyang'aya present? Because all these things, one day we'll know the truth. I'm just asking you. Do you, from your own recollection, do you remember Commissioner Nyang'aya sitting at 3 a.m. with you in that place?
All I can recall is all commissioners were present.
I'm asking you a specific question, Nyang'aya, because at the right time, we'll know where he was, we'll have call logs and everything else where he was. So I'm asking again, do you remember Commissioner Nyang'aya sitting with you at 3 a.m. in the morning? I'm asking Commissioner Nyang'aya, not all commissioners. Was Commissioner Nyang'aya with you at 3 a.m. in the morning? Is it a yes or no, Professor?
And I'm saying, as far as I am recalling, I think he was there.
Okay, that's good. So, are you able to recollect the words that each commissioner said at 3 a.m. after this visit by the visitors?
No, I cannot recollect all of them, other than what I've stated in my affidavit.
Are you sure Commissioner Irene Masit spoke at 3 a.m.? Did you hear what she said? Did she speak?
As far as I recall, what I have heard is what is in my affidavit.
You haven't said anything there, but I'm saying, you're just saying this, the common position of the 4 commissioners, but I'm asking you specifically. Did you hear Commissioner Irene Masit speaking at 3 a.m.?
The 4 commissioners, one.
Now, if you listen to that video, you will actually see the way Nani was struggling even to answer those questions. It's not an open secret that ni kama tu mtu ako tu na script, and Bede was answering it very rudely at one point. Even Donald Korir was saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, I should not forget to remind you to subscribe to our channel kindly. Click the notification bell and make sure you watch the next part of this analysis, because I know for what we normally do, we first show you this, then we tell you the state script that is being executed here over this Masit and Cherera Tribunal issues, or rather the Cherera Tribunal. The state decided to put Masit on the dock strategically for that to be a ground for the Bomas events. It has nothing to do with finding whether Masit is clean or not. Let's not just be one-sided and look at it in this way. You know, today, Raila Odinga was in Kamkunji, and the same day, Irene Masit was facing the tribunal. And one of the first rally of Kamkunji, it was held after that tribunal. I think I was just trying to make my tie over that, the oster of the Cherera and the team. But you realize that Kamkunji did not speak about what's going on. I want to believe that President Ruto might have convinced Irene Masit. She comes from Elgeyo Marakwet, and I'm not saying that's the reason, but that's only to show you that she can have a soft spot with the president. And the state machineries would have made a decision to push her to go all the way to the tribunal, because the others had left, and after when the rest left, there was no way. There is nothing special that beats the natural law. You will see that if the rest have left, what are you still doing? And how can your innocence be proved if, according to affidavits, what they believe the 4 commissioners did was a collective responsibility? So if you remain there and you are cleansed, or rather your innocence is proved, does it mean the rest comes back? That's not a trap, a conversation that Ruto will want to bring back. And so at the end of the day, Masit will have to leave. But I want to believe the state wanted her to be there, first to make sure that that tribunal is activated and activities goes on, and then it will create a platform, it will bring a platform for the other friendly commissioners to speak about Bomas, and just to take that conversation moving forward. That could be number one. Number two, I want to believe that President Ruto could buy and compromise the loyalty of those 3 commissioners. And I'm not judging them. I'm saying this in the context of what Ruto can do, or rather what the state can do. They can compromise them. So even if those commissioners were seem to be supporting Raila by then, nothing will stop. If Ruto wanted a commission that will support him, nothing will stop him. But I want to think that the state, or rather the president, could have promised people those jobs. Of kwamba wewe utakuwa commissioner IBC, wewe utakuwa hapa, wewe utakuwa chairman. I've always said the chairman, the new Chebukati's successor, is already known. It's only us who doesn't know. So all these stories were just being created to make sure that those offices are vacant. The whole thing was just to make sure they leave. Do you know that before the tribunal, they were being pushed kwamba nyinyi lazima muende. They were called rogue and they were vilified in public. And remember, president coming to threaten you and tell you, you know, this and that, you have to leave. And then people will then tell you, you know, security has been withdrawn. And so the whole game here was never about what happened at Bomas or what happened where. It was about creating vacancies. We know that in Safaricom, there are vacancies being created for political proxies. In parastatals, in KPA, in Kenya Pipeline, you know, everywhere, in KRA board, everywhere there are changes going on. And this could be one of them. And that is why this is why the Chereras were being removed. It was on a political ground. The other thing here is this. I have followed the Masit Tribunal and the statement by Guliye. Ruto is blaming Uhuru for Boma's mayhem on political grounds. This is the truth. If the security agencies met Chebukati at 3 a.m. and then they later met him somewhere at 2 p.m. Now, the ground here is they already had results. The results were in portal, and maybe Ukimaji, what was in the portal, they knew that the portal was showing that Raila had lost. So by that time they were going for the results to be moderated. They knew that there was an option of the commission. Of course, the commission had refused. Chebukati did not say he's going to moderate also. Even at that moment, if someone wanted to kidnap Chebukati, sasa si wangekaa tu hapo na Chebukati yangetoka. You know, look at this, look at it that way. Wangekaa tu hapo na Chebukati yangetoka. So that is why if you look at the Bomas events, you should not even talk about Uhuru Kenyatta. It was just last minute attempt, if it was there, just last minute attempt, cosmetic, hapa kidogo, ambia mzee inaendelea, but there was already a plan to give up power. Lastly, the issue of branding the outgoing commissioners as victims of intimidation, state war, state threats was a well-orchestrated and choreographed strategy to make sure that these fellows who are called heroes can be rewarded handsomely without a public backlash. And that's why I say, I'll not be shocked to see Chebukati there, Guliye there, Boya Molu there, or ambassador here, there. They'll get something. Of course, ambassadors are going to be recalled soon. So that was a ground. It was nothing to do with what they did. Because even either, no one is clean here. Neither the Chereras, neither them. They also went for private residence and they were sitting there waiting to see if Kenyans are going to slaughter themselves, according to what Guliye have always said. So it's never about what is being sold. The victim branding is sisi ni heroes just to give them jobs. That's my take.